Hey, PrimeTime Squad. To those who might happen to come in tonight, I know it's late. And so, therefore, I know a lot of people might not tune in tonight because it is kind of late. But I want to do a review with you guys of the Hey, PrimeTime Squad. TV to those who might happen to come in tonight, I know it's late. Let me turn off my and so, therefore, I know a lot of people might not tune in tonight because it is kind of late. But my bad. I had my background on. Why I got both of these screens open? Let's see. Okay, close. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know how I had that. Okay, I thought I had my screens closed. Okay, anywho. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Make sure you guys share it out if you have a community tab. Thank you very kindly. But tonight we're just going to be discussing The Handmaid's Tale while I'm decorating this cake for an event for tomorrow for the Proud to Be from North Omaha annual picnic. So, what I have in front of you guys is just a yellow cake. I'm making two sheet cakes actually. This one is a yellow cake. The other one, kind of like the one that you saw me decorate this morning, which was a strawberry crunch cake. So I'm going to be doing that in a sheet cake as well, but I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. But anyway, tonight I'm going to be working on one of the cakes for the Proud to Be for North Omaha event, while again discussing The Handmaid's Tale with you guys. So hopefully a few of you guys that's tuning in tonight, hopefully will be people who frequently watch The Handmaid's Tale. I know it's a show that some people are still not familiar with. So for you who are not familiar with that show, it is on Hulu. It is now on season 3, episode 11. So, if you wanted to binge watch it, you have plenty enough time to binge watch it before the next episode comes on, before the next season comes out. So, that's something you can do if you got some spare time coming up, off of work or, whatnot. But anywho, let's get started on this. I'm about to even out this cake right now. This beautiful yellow sheet cake. But let me see if I can move it back a little bit so you can see the whole cake. Kinda. Okay, so oftentimes with sheet cakes or any, half sheet, full sheet, whatever, when you're baking it, oftentimes, the cake, it takes a lot longer to bake, of course, than a normal cake. And oftentimes, the middle part right here, it kind of sinks a little bit. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you cutting the top part of the cake off anyway, because somebody had asked me one time, matter of fact, let me get my big, humongous knife. Hold on. I knew I was forgetting something. My big, humongous knife. This big, humongous knife is by Fat Daddy-O's. You see how big this knife is? It might not look as big to you in the camera, but this knife is huge. Okay, let me see. Let me put it up to the spatula. Okay, this is the cake spatula. So this is the end of the cake spatula. So you see, it's 3 times the whole length of the knife, 3 times the size of the cake spatula. So, but anyway, this Fat Daddy-O knife is mainly for people who need to cut sheet cakes. You can cut them smooth across. Or people who bake a lot of bread. It's very, a lot of people use it for bread. But me, and sorry I'm ducking down because I don't have a camera. I'm going to get me a camera soon, I promise. But in the meantime and in between time, we does what we do with what we got to do with what we gotta do. But anyway, so right now I'm going to go ahead and first even off this cake. So And this is even with round cakes. You have to even off the cake. Because unlike home cakes where people just bake a cake at home, you just bake a cake at home and then you just throw some icing on it from off the shelf at the store and then you give it to the kids or give it to whoever's at the house eating it. But a professionally done cake, you always, whether it's a round cake or whether it's a sheet cake, you always cut the top of the cake off so that the cake can be totally smooth. No round hump on the cake. So it got to be totally smooth. So I'm just going to take this. And if you happen to purchase one of these Fat Daddy-O knives, I'm going to tell you one thing. Be very careful with it. I don't let my sons handle this, and they grown. They've been knowing for years. This is the only knife in the house that they cannot touch. I keep it away from them, so it's not even in their area or in an area where they would just like, oh, we need a knife, let's pick up this one, So I keep it away from them because this is one of those knives that you do not want children to come in contact with, because when I say it's really sharp, it's really sharp. I've actually had a few accidents with this knife myself, and I have to say, one time I thought I had lost a finger. I'm just being honest. And I was like, oh my God, no more cake decorating for me. No more nothing for me, because I really thought I had lost my finger. But after screaming out in pain and agony and running around the house like a chicken with his head cut off from pain, I realized I didn't lose all my finger. But it was a pretty bad cut. So, again, we just got to even off the cake. Basically just make it really smooth. And I had somebody ask me before, they was like, how do you get the cakes to look so smooth across like they do, in the videos or on TV or, the professional cake decorators? And this is how you have to even off your cake. And if you're noticing, I'm basically going all the way around to where it folds. I'm cutting down to like right underneath where the cake actually, comes over. So, but yeah, so anywho, about this Handmaid's Tale, I'm just gonna have to tell some of y'all, there's some people who still have not heard about this TV show, which is on Hulu, by the way. It's on Hulu. And I've even been seeing some commercials. Somebody told me the other day that they saw a commercial for the show. And it was funny because they said they didn't see a commercial for the show until after they had actually saw me do a review. So that's pretty good right there. Where we got it, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let me see. I just want to make sure. Because one thing for sure, if you don't get the cake as even as possible all the way across, it's going to end up being a problem when you're trying to decorate. But okay, so get the cake crumbs off the board. Hey everybody, come on in. I'm just up here decorating a cake and about to do some commentary at the same time. If you were watching me live earlier, you saw me decorating a strawberry crunch shortcake cheesecake. But I wasn't doing commentary. I was just, basically just, decorating the cake. It was kind of like an ASMR. But normally I do cake decorating. Well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Normally when I do cake decorating live on YouTube, I normally do commentary at the same time. And if I'm not doing commentary, we just chilling. We just chopping it up about anything. Somebody might come in and ask me, how you do this to a cake or how you do this to a cake, stuff like that. Hey, Miss Naturally New Orleans. How you doing, boo? Thanks for tuning in. How is it going down there in New Orleans? Or how do I say New Orleans? All my life, always called it New Orleans. And then I started hearing people say, Nolans. I'm like, okay. Don't kill me. Okay, I'll pronounce it like that. But yeah, I know a lot of Southern people, they say Nolans. But yeah, I'm up here. I'm just putting a crumb coat on this cake right now. But Miss Naturally Nolans, did you get a chance to watch what I'm trying to say, what am I trying to say? The Handmaid's Tale. I'm tripping. I'm tired. I'm tired, right? It's been a long week. I've been working overtime, working 9 to 5 plus some. You said good, just raining here. Oh, just raining? Okay. You know what? It's funny because sometimes our weather be matching you guys' weather. And I'm like, that's crazy because you guys are like, I don't know how many miles away, but far from where we are in the Midwest. But I remember one day you had said it was raining or something, and I was like, really? It's raining here too, in Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, Queen Sugar. I did a review on Queen Sugar the other day. I sure did. But I need to do another review. I need to do another review off the one that came on last night. Was it lit? Let me know if it was lit. Because matter of fact, let's see. The one I did, what's today? Friday? Yeah. Yep. It's still okay. Yeah, I still got to do the one from the other day. I love me some Queen Sugar. The last one I watched that I did a review on, it was Aunt Vi. She was telling Hollywood to give her some space. Was that the last one or was there one after that? She was like, she just need a little space because, she's going through something, and she doesn't want to be like having relations per se with her husband. And her doctor said that it could be a result of, something dramatic or something stressful that might have happened to her. And so she started thinking about Jimmy Dale. And she was like, bingo. That's what it is. Jimmy Dale, when he rolled up in there, stirring up mess. And you know what? We still don't have the full reason why he came there. I'm just putting a crumb coat on the cake, y'all, for those who watching. Okay, yep, so I got one to watch. But let me tell you something. The Handmaid's Tale was lit. The Handmaid's Tale was super lit. Y'all better stop sleeping on The Handmaid's Tale. I'm telling y'all. Go to Hulu. Unless there's like some other platform that you can watch, Hulu shows on. Go to Hulu or whatever platform you can to watch The Handmaid's Tale. That show be lit. I'm telling y'all. Trust me, I don't review shows that aren't really, really good. And there's a lot of shows out here that are really, really good, but I can only do so many. So sometimes, I'll switch them up. I'm sure those who've been following me for a minute, y'all might see every season, I'm switching it up. I might do 3 different shows this season. Next season, I might do different shows. But there are some shows that I always, always, always do. And one of them is Queen Sugar. One of them is Basketball Wives. One of them is Power. And let me think of another one. There's another one that I always, always do. Housewives of Atlanta. So there's certain shows that I always do, and then kind of like a freebie, I would call it. I would throw in another show. Every season I would do like a different show. So, okay, I'm done with this crumb coat. And if there are any bakers watching, a crumb coat is just like a light layer that you put on the cake just to cover up the crumbs in the cake. This is not your final, this is like the rough draft. I like to call it the rough draft. That's what I like to call it. So basically, you put a thin layer of frosting all over the cake to cover the crumb coat. To cover the crumbs. And then after that, you put it in the freezer for about, when it's a big cake like this, I might put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So let me just do this side right here. Then I'm going to throw this bad boy in the freezer. And if you like, some people they'll put like a cake in the refrigerator. But I like to put it in the freezer because the crumb coat hardens faster. And if you're doing like a lot of cakes and you only got so much time to get the cakes in and out, then the freezer is the best way. Just don't leave them in there forever, so they freeze. Like, you don't want the cake to freeze. You just want the frosting to stiffen and harden. Just not freeze, but just want it to harden. So I'm going to put this in the freezer real quick. Then I'll be back with you guys in a second. Move some stuff out the way. Put it in my other fridge over here. Okay, we gotta move some stuff around. Okay. Okay, got that cake in the freezer. Okay, let me read the comments. You said you don't have Hulu, Miss Natalie Norland? You know, I don't have Hulu. I mean, I didn't have Hulu either. I didn't have it for a long time. I kept hearing about Hulu. Excuse me. I kept hearing about Hulu. And I never would get it. I just was like, okay, I got cable. I got Netflix. That's all I need. Excuse me. I was like, that's all I need. My cable, my Netflix, and that's it. But then I started hearing about other TV shows, and then people were like, oh, well, you can only watch that on Hulu. And so when I heard about The Handmaid's Tale, y'all done heard me mention probably several times that I first heard about it on Michelle A.T.Ellion's channel. And she was explaining it like when it first came out. Or I don't know if it was when it first came out, but when she first ran across it. Let me put it that way. So when she first ran across the show, she came on her show and she was all excited. She was like, oh my gosh, you guys, this show, oh my God, and they be doing this, and they be making the ladies do this. And I mean, she was like going on and on and on and on. So I tried to find the show, and I couldn't find the show, so I hit her up, and I was like, Michelle, where can I watch that show? And she said, it's on Hulu, child. She like, it's on Hulu. I called Hulu, not called, but I got online and I ordered Hulu like that. Like right there. They was like, I didn't care how much it cost, and I think it's like only $5 or $6 a month. But as soon as she said Hulu, I was on that internet typing in my debit card number and it like that. And I was binge watching. Like literally, after she said Hulu, I paid for it. I found The Handmaid's Tale and I was binge watching. You said you have too much now. I have everything but that one. You know, and I'm telling you, I never considered getting Hulu. Never. I was like, I'm gonna keep my little. I mean, I know people who don't have cable anymore, and they be making me feel all bad. You still got cable? You paying the high cable bills, and you this, and you should do that. People be like, well, you should order this, and you should get this, and you'll get these many channels, and you'll get this many channels, but you won't get that channel, and you won't get that channel. I'm like, I've been thinking about it and considering, like, should I dump my cable like a lot of people are doing? And then I'm like, when they tell me what channels I can't watch anymore, or I'm like, I don't know. So I still got the cable. I've been having cable for almost as long as, let's see, my oldest son is 22. Well, I've been having cable forever. And paying that high bill forever. But you know how it is. It's kind of like sometimes you want to venture out and you want to try a different company, but then you be scared that it's not going to be what you want, and you done already signed up for it, and so. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up some of this cake that I cut off the cake. And what y'all saw me doing, like, how people be leveling off cakes, like how y'all saw me do at the beginning, which I done for you guys before. But when you level off your cakes, some people take that cake and instead of throwing it away, they take that cake and they freeze it. And they use it to make cake balls. Because that's how you make cake balls, right? You just make a cake. You make a cake, and then you destroy the cake per se, and you put frosting with it, and I'll have to put that recipe in the comment section. But yeah, that's how people make cake balls. You literally just bake a cake and you make cake balls. Hey, real mamas, real problems. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I was up here just talking about The Handmaid's Tale. Well, we were about to start. We were about to start talking about it. Then we started talking about Queen Sugar. And you know, sometimes we just can never stay on track. I'm up here also decorating some cakes. I already put the crumb coat on the cake, so the cake is in the freezer right now for like 10-15 minutes. So while that's in there with the crumb coat hardening up on the cake, you know, I figure we'll discuss where's my mouse? We'll discuss The Handmaid's Tale. So real mamas, I don't know if you watched The Handmaid's Tale either. A lot of people, like I told Miss Natalie Norlands, a lot of people still do not know about that Handmaid's Tale. But The Handmaid's Tale, I'm telling you guys, the show is really good on Hulu. So try to check it out if you got Hulu. But again, I'm sure there's probably other options. I just don't know those options on how you can, you know, watch the show. But anywho, the last episode of The Handmaid's Tale was lit. Now you know June is one of the handmaids, and she had her daughter taken away from her real daughter, her natural daughter, by her husband. She had her daughter taken away when Gilead had got created, which is the new America. You know, the new United States is called Gilead. And for some of y'all who don't know, like the background of this TV show, basically what had happened was, the USA, North America, United States, whatever, they had got taken over by these people who have formed another government, and they called it Gilead. And the reason why they did take over was because they were trying to revamp the United States, North America, because a lot of people were getting affected. Like, just picture, I don't know, picture 20, 40 years from now, and picture us having problems like with diseases and with, you know how they always say, since I was little, they always said stuff like smog. You know, smog is going to be the death of us. The ozone layer is going to be the death of us. These chemicals from cars is going to be the death of us. You know, things like that. Ever since I've been little, you know, they've been saying stuff like, this is going to kill everybody. You know, this is going to wipe everybody off the face of the planet. So that's basically how it is in this show, is a lot of people, because of chemicals, because of pollution, because of diseases, because of, you know, a lot of things have made a lot of the women, you know, where they can't have children. And so the women who can have children, who are like married to the men who helped create Gilead, some of them women can't have children, and some of the men are impotent. But in this show, the Gilead doesn't focus on the men; they focus on the women. So a man could know he's impotent, his wife could know he's impotent, but can't nobody else know that he's impotent. So for all these women who can't have babies, or for the ones who's married to men that can't give them a baby, they get these handmaids, kind of like slaves. This show is kind of reminds me of how slavery was back in the day, where the master, per se, the master, who's over the community or over the land or whatever, he would sometimes go out and, you know, mess with his slave women, the girls and whatnot, would have children by them, and then would take the children and sometimes keep the children. They would stay in the house, you know, with some of the house slaves, and, you know, or they would sell them, you know, to another landowner, to another master. So sometimes you never knew where your children was going. And this is kind of like that. This is kind of like that. The handmaids, well, the Gilead, the new United States is called Gilead. The free world in this movie I mean, it's TV show. The free world is Canada. So back in the day, the free world was North America, per se. It wasn't the slavery was South. It was the South against the North. So in this case, just think of the United States now being the South. The whole United States is being the South. And Canada as being the North. Because if you can get your way to Canada, if you can make your way to Canada, you are free. They help you get a home. They help you find a job. But you have to make your way to Canada to get away from Gilead. You said, and just like in slavery, the wives were just as abused. Yes, yes. And they are. Just like you said in slavery, the wives of the commanders, some of them are very, very abusive. Especially when their handmaids don't do what they want them to do. Or they think that they trying to escape. Or, stuff like that. But this last episode, for the last few episodes, June has been trying her hardest to figure out how to save the 52 children. Because there are 52 children that was born to the handmaids and then taken by their master and wife, per se. Their commanders and the commander's wife. 52 children. Now, I'm still trying to figure out how the heck is she going to get these 52 children out of Gilead. Now, the commander and wife that she's living with, y'all see how his wife, she not all there. She not all there. They had her own medicine. They had her own drugs because, she just wasn't stable, kind of psychotic. And they had her on drugs, but the drugs, it just seemed like they weren't working. So they started taking her off the drugs. And now she really crazy. Like, really crazy. Like, y'all saw how she put a gun on her husband, on Joseph. Commander Lawrence. Or Officer Lawrence. Commander Lawrence. She put a gun on her own husband. If it wasn't for June being there, their handmaid, it would have never happened. And the reason why she put a gun on him was because there were certain people who set up Gilead. And they set up the rules, the regulations, the policies. They set it up to where people who already have children, who can have children, because all the women who can have children in the United States, the women that were left over that can have children, the one that didn't escape to Canada or escape to somewhere else, the ones that were left over who can have children, they turn them into handmaids. And if you try to leave, they might cut your arm off, cut your hand off, cut your eye out, cut your foot off, all kind of stuff. Just beat you, whip you, just like, this is kind of like, a modern day slavery in this TV show. You say, yes, she is really unstable. She is really unstable. But last episode, I was like, okay, she kind of like, she's unstable, but she still knows what's going on in present time, in present sense, you know what I mean? Like, as far as when Gilead first got started, her husband, Joseph Lawrence, her husband, he was one of the ones that helped build Gilead. But his wife, for, the entire time, she never, ever agreed with Gilead. She also didn't agree with the men of Gilead, the commanders, taking advantage of handmaids and having relations with them in order to bear children. So he had always promised her that basically, that wouldn't happen to them. That wouldn't happen to them. And so all this time, every time they get a handmaid, they end up losing a handmaid or a handmaid, handmaids dying and all kind of stuff. And they didn't have no children. No children. And so then we kind of find out last episode, you know, excuse me, last episode, Mrs. Lawrence, she basically said why they don't have any children. And, you know, I guess we probably could have figured that out anyway, because she's like, mentally, she's not mentally stable at all. And she was like, no, he didn't want me to have children. I always wanted to have children, but he didn't want me to have children because of my meds, because they were always changing up her medicine, or, you know, rotating her meds, or, you know, trying alternative things to try to help her. And so I mean, I guess that's a good reason to not have kids, because of all the drugs somebody might be on, whether prescribed or not. But yeah, she has moments where she loses it, like when she knew, like when she knew the red folders was, when June was downstairs in the basement and she turned over and looked. She said, "What are you doing? Why are you down here?" And June was like, well, tell me, why are you down here?" And then June was like, "Because I'm looking for the files for all the children, because I want to help rescue the children." And Mrs. Lawrence looked at her like, "Oh, okay. They're right over here. Husband keeps them over there." And she took her downstairs, took her into the why these basements seem like dungeons? Like, ain't nobody got a finished basement. I mean, when you go down into these basements in their houses, it's like they don't end. I'm like, how many rooms is in these basements? They got cobwebs. They look like they smell like mold. I mean, I'm like, and the rest of the house just be beautiful with all these cabinets and architect work, and I mean, just libraries and the wood, expensive wood, and then in the basement is like, where the hell? So I don't understand that with the basements in these homes. But anyway, she told her, you know, exactly where the folders was, and told her, she was like, here, and then she also told her, she said, "I love when you're here, June. Everything is way more exciting," because she don't have no life. Commander Lawrence keeps her in the house. He don't let her go anywhere, because obviously, you know, her mental condition, you know, she can't be outside. She freaks out. And so June was trying to get him to, you know, get her out of Gilead. Like, you need to get your wife out of Gilead. You really do. Get her to Canada. They can help her. They can give her the meds that she really need. And you won't have to do these things, these despicable things, you know, in Gilead that you're doing. You don't have to do that in Canada. He wasn't feeling that, though. He was like, nah, you know, people can be killed. Because when you try to escape, they will hang you at the wall. And like I said, they done cut people's limbs off. They done pulled people's eyeballs. I mean, I'll just be watching this stuff like, oh my God. Is this worse than slavery, or was slavery worse than this? I'm like, boy, it sure, at times it seems like it'd be running neck and neck. It'd be running neck and neck. But, so anywho, Commander Lawrence had told June, you know, after she had basically saved his life, because his wife had went crazy after he was forced to have relations with June. Like, June has been a handmaid for a minute now, and they haven't done anything. Her and her commander hasn't done anything, and that's how they wanted it to be. The wife doesn't want her husband, Eleanor doesn't want her husband, Commander Lawrence, to have relations with anybody, because she knows if it's not consensual, she knows what it is. She knows what it is, and she knows that the men in Gilead are wrong, and that they are committing crimes. And so when they forced them, when Commander Wilson and what am I thinking of? Commander Wilson and them, when they came to their house and basically told them, we need to make sure that you are abiding by Gilead's rules and regulations. and that you are having relations, the commander and the handmaid, so that you can bear children. Boy, after that incident with Eleanor, she flipped out. She was crying. She was screaming. June finally had calmed her down. And I'm like, June just has a way with people. Her voice, her whole demeanor, when she's trying to calm somebody down, when she's trying to get through somebody, June has a way. She has a way with words. She really does. You said Dungeons and Dragons? You said, I think her mental condition would make them retire. Yeah. And, it was her mental condition that probably prompted her husband not to have relations with any of the handmaids. Because he knew that would drive her over, the edge. And it did. When she saw him, well, she didn't see it because she was in the other room. But she knew what they was doing. And so afterwards, in the last episode, she pulled a gun on him. She was like, you promised you wouldn't do it. You promised you wouldn't. But it was like, okay, we either do this or we get hung from the wall. Which one do you want, babe? Do you want to die? We can go hand in hand and get hung from the wall, and we could be, dangling from the ropes side by side. Is that what you want? But of course, that's not what Eleanor wants. Eleanor just doesn't want to live in that life anymore. She doesn't. And Commander Lawrence, he doesn't want to either. And he helped plan and put this whole thing together. And now that he finally has to do what all the other commanders have to do, which is try to make babies with their handmaids, now he want to be all in defiance and stuff, and trying to figure out a way around it. But you helped set all this up, Mr. Lawrence. You said when the girl went crazy, she calmed her down, stopped her from I'm like, she just has a way with people. That's probably why I love June. In the very beginning, when they showed her with her husband, with her baby, with Hannah, and, with her friends and hanging out and going to church and work, and I was like, this is a really cool chick. And then it just totally went like downhill from there. And I was like, wow. And they literally turned her, I wouldn't call June a monster, but she's like, they done took her to the edge. That song, Don't Push Us Cause We're Close to the Edge. That's where June is right now. And she's willing to do any and everything to try to save those children. And get her daughter back too as well, Hannah. So I'm like, how the heck they gonna do that? And then she had talked to the commander, Lawrence, after she saved his life, after she stopped his wife from blowing his brains across the room with the gun. She was like, you owe me. He didn't want to do it. He was like, we could die. How's this gonna work? Who's gonna help? How we gonna get them out? Because they literally only have like a small time frame. If they were to try to get those 52 children out at the same time, they literally have a small time frame to get those kids out. So he finally said he agreed. But then after that, June, she comes to find him. He then up and went AWOL. He's MIA. And gonna leave her a letter. He done took his wife, and they gonna leave her a letter saying he's sorry. He can't do it. I was like, you should have let his wife just blow his butt to Timbuktu. But you said I would have ran to Canada too, like slaves trying to make it. I'm telling you, I think I said that the last review, or maybe the review before that of this show. I said, I don't know. I think I would have did like Harriet. I think I would have tried. I would have took my chances. I would have took my chances and try to get on that Underground Railroad. I'm so serious. But, that's why I said I'll be looking at this show, and I know slavery was horrible. Like, slavery was horrible. Hundreds and hundreds of years of people enduring that, our ancestors. You know, we say all the time, if that was me, not we, but you know, a lot of people say, if that was me, I would have done this. I would have fought back. I would have done this to my master. I would have ran away with Harriet. You know, anything like that. But when you're in that position, you know, it's easier to say what you would do when you're not in those people's shoes. So, you know, a lot of these people in this show, you know, they moving smart. They moving smart. They moving safe. I should put it that way. But what y'all think about the other handmaids? The ones that June had reached out to and told them that she wanted them to help get the 52 children out of here. They didn't believe that she was going to be able to do it. They was like, what do you mean? You going to get 52 children out of here? You going to get us all in trouble. You going to get people killed and all that. And the handmaids was talking about what they've been doing has been working fine. Did I miss something? Like, what have the handmaids been doing? Because I'm like, I done missed something. Because I ain't seen none of them other handmaids get no children out of Gilead. Y'all tell me what I miss. You know, sometimes I do miss stuff, you know. Sometimes I do miss stuff, but I was like, what did y'all do? I mean, June done already like got 5 people out of there. You know, she got her husband, she got her bestie, she got her baby, Hannah. Who else did she got out of there? The white chick, the gay white chick. You know, she got her out of there and back to the, you know, arms. Well, I won't even say the arms of her wife because she done went real local. But you know, she was out there working out in the fields. You know, working out there with all those toxic fumes, and the ground was toxic, and they breathing, you know, all that toxic, you know, waste and all kind of stuff. And so she came back like kind of crazy, and her wife just don't know what to do with her. So, but yeah, you said, I think we're talking about getting handmaids out. Oh, they probably was talking about it, but I think they were trying to do it at a slower pace than what June is deciding. Like, she trying to get 52 children out of there. I don't know how that's gonna happen. Hold on, y'all. Oh, the doorbell ringing. I'm sure it's my son, but let me 1 second. Yep, that's him. He's calling me. Okay, I'm back. You said June not playing. She trying to grow her girl. For real. For real, for real, for real. You know what? I don't even know what I want to do with this cake. Let me think. What do I want to do with this cake? Trying to think what kind of design. You know, I do freestyle. I freestyle unless somebody tells me exactly what it is that they want. So, let me just start with, let's see. First I gotta get my little baggies. But you say give it here. You say give it here. I'm gonna I'm going to start off with doing the sides, I suppose. But oh girl, let me tell you, when that episode happened, when after Commander Lawrence came back and he decided, she was like, what you doing back? You couldn't leave. You know you couldn't leave. You wanted to leave, but you know you couldn't leave. He talking about his conscience was eating at him. That man hightailed it out of there so fast. And then he talking about his conscience was eating at him. June was like, you know that wasn't your conscience eating at you. That you couldn't get out of here. You could not get out. And that's basically what happened. But then, you know, like he said, he's thinking about his wife. He doesn't want Eleanor to die. He doesn't want her to hang from the wall or be punished in any sort of way. Because for one, she ain't all there in the head. And even though she knows like a little bit of what's going on, she know her husband is responsible for a lot of what's going on. She knows that the men there take advantage of the handmaids. You know, and even though it's only like once a month during the time when they could get pregnant, you know, ceremony time or whatnot, his wife ain't feeling that because it's like, again, like I said before, if it's not consensual, then it's wrong. And it is wrong. But Commander Lawrence, he's all in his feelings now, like, okay, homeboy, you help create this stuff. Now you scared to try to fix it? Like, come on now. You can't be scared to try to fix it. Lord have mercy. These people gone, boy. Boy. But for those who are wondering, I'm using a number 21 tip. I'm doing this zigzag design, one of my favorite designs. But you said you think June will get pregnant again. You know what? Ooh, real mamas. Ooh, I've been wondering about that. After, you know, her and the Commander Lawrence was forced to, you know, try to procreate. Man, did you see his wife? She went off. She was crying and screaming and all kind of stuff when that happened. But what I didn't expect was for her to come at him with that doggone gun. That was like really unexpected. But I kind of think that she might get pregnant. I do. I really, really do. I really do. I think that she's going to get pregnant. I think that she is going to get pregnant. I don't even know how to feel about that because, I mean, first of all, Commander Lawrence, the only reason why they're not dead yet, the only reason why him and his wife Eleanor is not dead yet is because they've been faking the funk all this time and making Gilead think that they are abiding by all the rules when they haven't been. They haven't been. He hasn't been doing what he's supposed to be doing with his handmaids to try to, you know, have a baby. So if June was to have a baby, that baby couldn't be in their house because his wife probably been killed the baby and everybody else in the doggone house if June came up pregnant. That's just what I'm thinking. That's just what I'm thinking. I'm just like, can you imagine June getting pregnant and him and his wife trying to raise the baby? Like, if June gets pregnant, which I think she will, I think she will try to I think she'll try to get the baby out if they don't already be out as it is. If they don't already been escaped from Gilead. But I don't know. She was able to get her other baby out. But, that scene at the end with the commander Wilson. Okay, when June had went, when she got dressed up, high heels, I was like, dude, she got on red bottoms? Real mamas, where'd she get them clothes? Where did she get them clothes? June was dressed up. She had the red bottoms on. She had the dress. I mean, she was looking like, I was like, June, what you trying to do? I was like, what you trying to do? Where'd she get them clothes? I'm like, hold on, where's the red dress? I'm like, where's the red dress? The scarlet letter dress. Where's the scarlet letter dress? I'm like, is that June? That ain't June. Is that June? But yeah, she done went out there and try to get some help, try to get some transportation, from the guy, what's his name, Billy? Because, he be having means of ways to get stuff in and out. So she figured she holler at him. But of course he wants something in, exchange. Because everybody's scared to do anything around there in Gilead. Everybody knows if they go against the laws of the land that they can be hung. Don't nobody want to be hung from no doggone wall. But it's like him, Billy, he's one of those people who do anything for money if the price is right. So when she started offering him like some of the artwork from Commander Lawrence's house, he was all ears then. She was like, I'll give you all the artwork. Because he got some Picassos. He got all kind of artwork at the house, Commander Lawrence. So yeah, he was all ears then. But then when Commander Wilson came in there and tried to mess with her, man, I thought he was going to get her. You said Commander's wife might have had some good taste in clothing before she went. That could be it. That could be it. Because I sure was like, ain't no way she went shopping. So how she get them clothes? Because they can't go to no malls and stuff like that. The only place they can go is to the doggone grocery store. The grocery store. Places like that. But yeah, so while Commander Fred, while he was out with Serena, I was up here like, what the heck is going on? Commander Fred and Serena, I'm thinking they going to go get or try to go get the baby. try to go get baby Nicole, right? And they on a road trip. Fred done let Serena drive the car. I just knew, like, Serena was gonna get pulled over. They was all gonna get taken to jail, or something like that. I'm like, why is he let Serena drive the car? Why is he trying to let her do what women ain't supposed to do? Why he trying to let her do now? And he was like, well, we're far away from, from anybody. Ain't nobody gonna see you out here driving. So, go ahead and get behind the wheel. Man, she took off in that car like like a bat out of hell. She was speeding and everything. I was like, I wonder how long it's been since Serena, got to drive a car. Because the thing about Gilead, driving cars and stuff like that, that's something for men to do. That's not, women ain't supposed to be behind no wheel of no car. Anywhere they gotta go, they have to be escorted. They have to have a chauffeur, bodyguard, chauffeur, a driver, whatever you want to call it. Like Nick, like Nick was. You said, hello. Hey, T. What's up, T? I'm up here decorating a cake for an event tomorrow, and we up here talking about The Handmaid's Tale. I don't know if that's a show that you watch, but yeah, that's what we're talking about, The Handmaid's Tale. It's on Hulu, just in case you were wondering. It's on Hulu, and it's called The Handmaid's Tale. It's a really, really, really good show. But real mamas, did you expect what had happened after that? When June and Fred, after Fred was like, where are we going? This don't seem like the right, direction that we're going. And then, Serena was just sitting there in the car like, acting like she don't know nothing. You said, I heard of it, I never watched it. Oh, it's really good. It's really good. If you have time one day, binge watch it. It's one of those shows I definitely recommend, the people to binge watch. But, yeah, I really like it. It's on season 3, episode 11. But, yeah, that's one of my favorite shows. But yeah, when Fred and Serena had went on that drive, I was like, now how the heck are they going to get baby Nicole back? Like, what do they have up their sleeves to try to get, baby Nicole back? And then next thing I know, they on the road, off into the backwoods, some dark roads, and I'm like, this looks kind of scary. Where the heck is they going? And even Fred was like, what's going on? Where the heck is we going? Why is he leading us this way? And then when they pulled over and they got out the car and you saw them, arresting Fred, arresting, the commander. And Serena, you said, yeah, I binge watched on my vacation last year and got hooked. Same here. I binge watched too and got hooked. But Serena done set her husband up. What do y'all think about that? Serena done set her husband up for the sake of her daughter. Now, remember that man had told Serena that he could help her? Remember that when they went to D.C. and he said, I can help you? And I was wondering, okay, he said he could help her, but I was wondering, what exactly she had to do to get some help. And now I see. He wanted her to turn over somebody big, somebody in charge, somebody, high up on the scale. Somebody high up on the scale. You said Serena been tired of that life. Mm-hmm. She has been tired of that wife. But did you hear how Fred was telling her, like, she asked him when they had went to that home, when they had went to that home to meet that man that was going to take her, the one that took them on the road and that they was following. She went outside and she was like, she said, how could you, because remember she used to be a writer, right? She used to be a writer and she wanted to have a career in like TV or, you know, something like that, a journalist, you know, something like that. But after Gilead came, you know, the wives, they can't work anymore. No matter how many years they went to school, whether they was a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a nurse, whatever. They now got to stay at home and their husbands are out there, you know, being the provider. And she was like, how could you take that from me? That was like a dream of mine. That was something I always wanted to do. You know, how could you take that away from me? And he was basically like, I'm sorry. That's what he said. I'm sorry. Like, okay. That's all he had to say was he's sorry. I don't know. Serena was fed up. She was like, I want my baby. Yeah, it was a dry ass sorry. I have to watch it. Y'all talking too good about that series. Yes, T-Love, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. When I recommend shows, I will not tell you wrong. Because one thing about it, I don't be watching those. I don't be watching nothing that I do not think is worth it. Sure. You see what I'm doing right now? I'm decorating cakes. I do that. I have a regular full-time job. I have kids. One of them y'all just saw walk behind me a little while ago. And so when I where's my Russian tips? Oh. Got my Russian tips right here. My Russian tips. But so I be having a lot going on. So when I do watch something for me to review, you know, it's taking time out of my day. And so I try to make sure that I'm always reviewing something that's decent, you know. That's half decent. Oh, I gotta do my border. Let me do my border first. Where is the doggone tip? Oh, here it is. But you said, Real Mamas, you said you starting your channel. Why you say Lord help me? Why you say that? You kind of scared or nervous to start your channel? I always tell people, if you thinking about starting a channel, do it. Just get out there and do it. Just get out there and do it. As soon as you start your channel, let everybody know so they can run over there and they can support your channel. And I will be one of those running over there to support your channel. So don't be nervous, don't be scared. In the it's kind of like YouTube can be kind of intimidating per se. YouTube can be kind of intimidating per se. when you first start. But I tell people all the time, if you're thinking about it, just go ahead and do it. Because the one thing about it is, whether you a YouTube content creator or not, you know all about, well, usually, especially people who's like over in this sector or any sector that knows a lot about, like the watch hours you got to get, how many subscribers you got to get in order to get monetized and stuff like that. You got to, sorry, I thought I heard something. I forgot my nephew was in there. My nephew's spending the night with me tonight. One of my nephews. I got like 8. I got like 8 nephews and a couple of nieces. But, yeah. The one thing about it is, if you're really considering doing it, just go ahead and start. Even if you don't know what you want your content to be, real mamas, start your channel. Start inviting people to your channel, your friends, your family, your co-workers, other people on YouTube, like people that you follow. Let them know, I'm thinking about starting my channel. My channel name is this. Here's the link, And from my experience on YouTube, when you subscribe to some really decent, positive people, like I like to think that I am one of those people, by the way, and you trying to start your channel, they gon' hit your channel up, and they gon' talk about your channel on their channel. So that's what I like about some of the people that I'm subscribed to. Like, I'm subscribed to a lot of people. There are some people out there, once they get their channel, they ain't trying to help nobody else. They ain't trying to get nobody no shout outs. They ain't trying to send nobody else no other direction besides their channel. And, you can't be mad at them because it's a hustle. YouTube is a hustle. But I always think of it as this way. Everybody who got big started from somewhere. And somebody promoted them. Somebody, like all these people out here on YouTube, I got my subscribers, and I got it the right way, and I did it on my own, and I da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No, what usually happens is somebody hear about your channel, somebody recommend your channel, somebody share out your video, or somebody says, make sure y'all hit up whatever. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me show y'all what I've done so far, because y'all can't see the side. So let me show y'all what I've done so far. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit, because this cake is heavy. So I'm going to lift it up a little bit so y'all can see what I've done so far. And I started the border at the top. So, but yeah, so as I was saying, some people will, try to help you build your channel up. Some people will. Some people won't, but, But if you're thinking about it, like I said, even if you don't know what you're going to discuss, if you don't know what the topic is going to be, I would still recommend starting it. Get your subscribers up, because thank you, real mamas. Thank you. Because when it comes to those watch hours and it comes to subscribers, you really need to get those numbers in order to be monetized. So that's why I said, even if you don't know what you want your content to be, still go ahead and, you know, start building your channel up. I hate when the bags have air bubbles. When you refill, when you refill the, let's see, which way should I go? Should I go this way or should I go that way? I think I'll go this way. Then I'll go this way. This way. Yeah. I'm not doing any certain pattern here. I'm just being creative. Just being creative. That's the fun part about cake decorating. When you don't have nobody telling you what to do, you just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. But yeah, go ahead. I mean, do you have like some type of, like, do you have like several things that you thought about doing, or, you know, like I was talking to my sister the other day, one of my god sisters, and I had her on my show last week, you know, after the Mueller testimony, because she's all into that politics and she knows a lot about the politics and all that kind of stuff. And she be helping, like, you know, every time it's time to vote and stuff like that, she be down there helping, and, you know, she does all that kind of stuff. And so I had her on my show because a lot of people, you know, we hear what's going on in the news, but if you like me, you really like, okay, what happened? You like, what happened? And so I had her on my show to try to explain, you know, to people like me and people like my subscribers who might be like, they following, but they not following. You know what I mean? You following the news, but you not following. So I had her on my show, and I was like, girl, Robin, you need to get you a YouTube channel. I'm like, do you know how many people be on YouTube? How many channels on YouTube that are about politics? And I'm like, you can talk about other stuff, because, like, she does nails. You know, she does other stuff, too. And I'm like, or you can start you a channel where you decorating nails and, you know, all that kind of stuff. She's like, I've thought about it. I really have thought about it. And I was like, girl, just go ahead and do it. So, yeah. Anybody that tells me they interested or thinking about doing a YouTube channel, I'll be rooting them on. I'll be cheering them on. Like, and even people who ain't never mentioned they thinking about having a YouTube channel, I still be like, have you ever thought about getting a YouTube channel? You said things I am still going through. You never know. You could be reaching out to someone. You know what I mean? There's like my channel is mainly about, of course, y'all know it's like mainly about TV show reviews, media, trending news, you know, stuff like that. I don't do all the news, but I do like what I think is necessary for my channel. I try not to do what I see everybody else doing, like this sector that I'm in, the sector that I'm in when it comes to doing TV show reviews and celebrity news, and it can be really overly saturated. And that's why a lot of the times I do TV shows that a lot of people don't review. And then when people come and listen to my review, they be like, what show is that? What channel is that on? I ain't never heard of that show. I done had people like The Handmaid's Tales and other shows. I done had people come in here, what show is that? What channel is that on? And they go watch the show, and then they be like, I'm in the house. Next review, I'm in the house. I know what's going on now. I can chime in. So, yeah. But, then like I said, I do, some TV shows I do, all the time. Like Basketball Wives, Housewives of Atlanta. I do Black Ink, New York a lot. And I've reviewed Black Ink Chicago. Oh, and y'all know they got a Black Ink Compton that's about to come on this fall. I can't wait for that one. Oh, and I do Married to Medicine. Some of the really big hot shows. I do those. A lot of those are in the off season right now, so they're not on. And matter of fact, I did Married to Medicine LA. I reviewed that show last spring when it first came out. Oh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. I've never done this design over the whole cake. Like the top part. I've never done this design over the whole top part of the cake. I usually just use that design for a border. But, oh my gosh. Let me stand up and look at this. Let me stand up and look at this. It's cool. And it's going in all different directions. I'm going to say I like it. I'm going to show y'all what the, I'm going to give y'all a close up. As soon as I finish the bottom edge border, I'm about to do the bottom edge border right now. Put the rest of this frosting in this bag. I gotta do my bottom edge border. I know a lot of cake decorators, they only do like the top border. But I like to decorate the board, like the actual board around the cake at the bottom. Plus it's more frosting. Some people like a lot of frosting. Some people don't like a lot of frosting. And usually when I make cakes for events, like the Proud to Be from North Omaha event that I'm doing tomorrow, I didn't like specifically ask stuff like that because, these are donations. The cakes that I'm doing today and tomorrow morning, because I'm going to be back at this tomorrow morning bright and early. I got more cakes I got to make. These are donations. A lot of the cakes I make are donations or just for friends and family. So, but sometimes I ask people, like, if it's friend or family, I'm like, do you like a lot of frosting? Do you like a little frosting? Do you like, because some people don't like a whole bunch of frosting on their cake. But one thing about it is, most people, after they get a cake from me, they be like, could you put more frosting on? I'm like, that wasn't enough? It's like, yeah, it was enough, but your frosting is so good. I dropped off a cake earlier today for a good friend of mine. I made that cake that I decorated live earlier, the strawberry crunch shortcake cheesecake. I dropped that cake off. And another lady was there, and she was like, oh my gosh, can I just taste the frosting? It just looks so soft and fluffy. And can I just put my finger on the frosting? She was like, ain't nobody gonna know. But she's a good friend, you know, and a family member of the lady whose birthday it was. I'm like, I'm sure she won't mind if you take a little piece of the frosting off the back. And she was like, oh my gosh, it's just so soft and fluffy. I was cracking up. But yeah, this is like kind of along the lines of wedding cake. You said, well, I'm gone. I have a very good night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in, Real Mamas. I really, 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 really appreciate it. And it's so late. I didn't think nobody would be live with me tonight. So I really do appreciate you guys, you know, staying up with me, keeping me, because y'all really keeping me company. Y'all really keeping me company. But you said, well, I'm having it. Okay, looks really good. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody's comments. So let me just go ahead and I'm gonna lift this cake up a little bit so y'all can see the finished product. Oh, it's heavy. So that is the finished product. And I'm going to box it up. Let me wash my hands real quick. Okay. So I'm going to box this up real quick. But before I go, for those of y'all who might still be here or might come in later, I'm going to also finish the review that I was doing. Where's my cake box? At the end of the show, it was crazy. It was really crazy because Commander excuse me, Wilson, the one who June was fighting, that was crazy. That's crazy. She took that pen and she was letting him have it. She was letting him have it. And he was bleeding all over the place. And at first I thought she was going to lose that battle. I sure did. I'm not even going to lie. I thought she was going to lose that battle. Because he's strong. You know, he's really strong. Like, in real life strong. And I like him because, you know, I think the show that he used to play on is, I'm pretty sure it was Law and Order. Was it Law and Order? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Law and Order that he played on. I can't remember his name, his real name. But, so I always liked his character in that TV show. And so when I saw him on this show, I was like, what? At the beginning of this season, I was like, what? He on here? But he tried to get over on June and tried to, you know, take advantage of her and everything. But she got the best of him. So Commander Fred, he done got arrested for war crimes. And I'm up here dropping pans. Sorry about the noise of dropping pans. But Commander Fred, he done got arrested for war crimes and human rights violations. And all kinds of other stuff. Thanks to his wife, Serena, she done set him up and got him arrested. And I think that she thinks this is her ticket to get baby Nicole. But do y'all think it's gonna work? I don't know. The way June been acting lately, I don't know if that's gonna work. If Serena's gonna be able to get June. I mean, get baby. Let's see how I'm gonna put this lid on here. I'm boxing this cake up, y'all. Y'all wondering what I'm doing. Y'all can't see me right now. I'm boxing the cake up. Trying my best not to mess the frosting up with the flaps. So I'm going to put the flaps on the outside of the box because I don't want to mess this pretty cake up. Then I'm going to tape it down. But yeah, so June, she done did him in, stabbed him, over and over and over and over and over again with that pen. He was bleeding everywhere, and he was talking about in the end, when he only had moments left, he was like, but my wife, but my children, but I'm like, oh, now you but my wife, but my children. Like, you wasn't thinking about all that when y'all out there, taking advantage of the females and the handmaids. You wasn't worried about the children then. So why are you trying to worry about them now? Just go ahead and take that last breath. Watch your life flash before your eyes. And that be it. That be it. But yeah, that last episode was really, really good. I'm almost done boxing up this cake. This scotch tape. Hard to rip off. Okay, let's see. No room in that fridge. Put it in the other fridge over here. Okay, put the cake in the fridge. Cake in the fridge. Cake is safe and sound in the fridge. Okay. So, anywho, am I still? I think I'm all alone. But, yeah, you guys. As far as the last episode of The Handmaid's Tale, I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you didn't catch it, make sure you tune in to Hulu. You can watch seasons 1, 2, 3 on Hulu. So you can binge watch. If you got time this weekend, binge watch and get caught up. Because, again, that's a really good show. I really, really like that show. And Real Mommies, she really likes it too. A lot of people really like that show. Again, I was put on by Michelle A.T.L.E.N. Brown. I was put on to that show by her on her chat one day. And I've been hooked ever since. So we gonna see, what's gonna happen next time. If June is gonna be able to get, the children out. You saw the handmaids covering up the crime, after they got rid of the Commander Wilson's. After they got rid of him, they cleaned up the blood. I couldn't believe that they actually did all that just to save June's butt. I mean, because June be knocking, she be bumping heads with the handmaids, a lot, and especially earlier when she was trying to get them to help her get the children out and everything. They was up there, they was putting up a fuss. You gonna make more trouble. You gonna get us caught. You gonna keep people dead. Stuff like that. So they definitely, wasn't on board with June, when she tried to get them on board with her escape plan. But when it came time for getting rid of that body, they was cleaning up carpets, they was getting rid of evidence, they was basically saving her tail. They was basically saving her tail. So, I was glad for that because whew, I do not want June on the wall. I do not want June on the wall. And I'm sorry, I said, what did I call him? Wilson. His name is Winslow. His name is Winslow. Commander Winslow. I was saying, what am I saying? Wilson? I was saying Wilson, but it's Winslow. But he deserved it. I thought he was a really bad guy. But again, I thought like he was gay. I thought like the last few episodes, I had told y'all, I was like, he was up there coming on to Commander, Lawrence. I'm like, what? When he was coming on to Fred, okay, when they was up in DC, I got frosting everywhere. When they was in DC and he was coming on to Fred, I was like, is he gay? Is he bi? Is that why his wife can't have children and they got like all these kids by the handmaids? But then he started to come on to June. Well, I wouldn't even say come on to June. He was just trying to take. She wasn't having it. She was taking that pen to his back, to his side, to his chest until he just couldn't move anymore. Until till his heartbeat stopped. So next episode, I'm looking forward to finding out, if they're going to look into June. Is they going to put their sights on her as far as like his disappearance? Because obviously, his wife and whoever, that he normally hangs with, family and stuff, is going to report him missing. So we got to see how that's going to go. And also with, Commander Fred, we're going to see, what's going to become of him because, again, his wife set him up. Serena just set him up. And I wonder what's going to happen to Serena. Is she going to realize, oh, this was a mistake? I shouldn't have set my husband up. Is it going to backfire on her? Did the guy that helped, that she thought she was helping to help her, is he going to turn on her? So, we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, again, I thought it was a really good episode. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in, or at least please make sure you hit the like button before you leave out the live. Thanks for hanging with me tonight and keeping me company while I'm decorating cakes. I still got some more to go. I'm going to start working on some cheesecakes right now. And then, what time is it? It's like 1:32. Yeah, I'm about to work on some cheesecakes right now. Those will probably get done approximately around like 3 a.m. And then I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to work on 2 cakes. So that's and then wait a minute. Oh yeah, I do got to get up real early in the morning. Because the Omaha Day parade is at like 10 o'clock. And I said I was going to be there and I was going to go live. So I definitely want to go ahead and do that. So yeah, I'll probably be up here till about 3 a.m. And then get up at like 6 or 7 and start working on some more cakes, and then go to the parade and then come back and finish up some cakes. So tomorrow's going to be a really long day too. But I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to the Proud to Be from North Omaha event tomorrow afternoon. And for those of y'all in Omaha, that know all about this event, I hope that I will see a lot of you there. If you see me, Tanya, aka Tanya's PrimeTime TV, make sure you holler at me. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You know how the old folks, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Come up to me and say hi and speak, and I'll speak back. But anyway, in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.